What's up everybody, welcome back to Burnout Bobby YouTube channel. Today's video, as promised, I'm going to go over what needs to be taped off before sending your stuff to powder coat. So you might have some different things that you're sending that I'm not, but at least you can see if we do have similar parts that are going to powder coat, you'll know what to tape off and what not to tape off. Big issue with not taping off the parts when you send out the powder is fitment afterwards. When you go to put on, the powder is so thick, between the thickness of the powder of the part and then the powder of the frame itself. If you do powder the frame, you're going to run into issues. So this video will hopefully help you avoid that, and we will get right into it. It's not going to be a long video, but at least you can see what to do. So what I did was I taped off everything that is going to powder coat. I used some blue painter's tape. Now painter's tape isn't going to work for the powder coat people because it's not going to hold up to the heat in the oven. But at least what this does, and especially with the rapport that I have with my powder coater, is they know where to put their tape or where to mark off where not to powder. So key things for the engine mount, well, I'll go over first just piece by piece. This is for the stabilizer bar, the stifler bar. I'm doing that gloss black. These two pieces are for the fatty mount, little C-clamps. This one I taped off inside here because that's where it goes up against the frame. Likewise on this piece. So the least powder that I can have in those areas, the better. This is just a 12-inch stretch bar, that's good. Here's the top clamp for the mount here. Because the frame is getting painted, it might be thick, so just in case, I have this taped off. I also have the fatty mount itself, where the frame is going to rest in. Everything else is fine. That won't be an issue. The spacers for the shock arm and for the fatty mount, there's 3 of them. I'm not worried about those. I may have to grind down on the side, but I'd rather just let them have the powder to start with. The T-bracket, not worried about that. The 4 bolts for the ankle biter, that's fine. The top clamp for the fatty kit, that's good. My gas cap, I was going to tape off the inside here. I think I still will, just to make sure they don't powder inside here, so it's already a snug fit as it is. And I gotta say too, a lot of people say, well, the center, or when they buy this cap, they always say the hole's not center, it was machined wrong. If you look at a gas cap, the hole itself isn't perfectly center, so when this goes on it, you'll notice once you get it pressed on and pushed down, it's gonna have a nice fit where you'll get to put the key right there in the middle. You could see it in Modinasi's video. He pressed it on there, he's using it, and it works just fine. That's going gloss black as well. The shock arm itself, I have tightened these 2 bolts in, and I'm sending it like this because I don't ever intend on taking these out. So what I'll do is have those bolts get powdered in there. The inside part where it hooks on the frame, I tape that off. This part should be fine. It may be a little bit thicker, and that's where it's going to come into play with these spacers here. If you want to tape that off, you can. I'm not going to because that's going to leave a lot of raw showing, and I'd rather just scrape away at the spacer than on the inside of here, just to keep a real nice finish. The 2 clip-on bars, those are good to go as it is. The clip-on itself, so I have the inside where it slides over the bar itself taped off, and then where the bar goes in. Like I said, they're not going to powder it like this because that's a really bad powder job or tape job. This is just for reference for them for when they get the product. For the stem neck itself, I taped off those. I'm going to have them leave the ends so they can at least powder the end black, but then where it slides over will be still raw after everything. So that slides in nice and easy. The clutch hub cover, you can do this for 49s or the GY6s. Basically all of this you can do it for both models. I taped off the inside there, that's where the steel sleeve is, and that's where it rides along the clutch pads. So I taped that off, and then usually my powder guy will put something in there where the splines are, where it slides over the counter shaft there. And this is all going to be gloss black. So this is everything minus the rear sets and rear set spacers, and then the wheels. That is at the shop right now. those are good to go, so that's good to go. If you do ever plan on powdering your frame, I will give you this heads up. If it's possible, have your powder person tape off up here to down to the bottom where the triple tree slides into. That's gonna make it a lot easier. And then also underneath this here, this is only for powdering your frame. You can see these little ridges here where it raises up. Well, these touch your rear frame, and to get a good ground between the bike, these right here on your front frame, I would have them tape these off, or if you do get the bike powdered and they don't tape it off, then you could just grind these down where it has little raised up sections. The reason behind that is because usually with the harnesses, the battery has a ground that goes to the front frame, directly to the frame, and that's going to ground out the frame. To keep the continuity good throughout the whole frame, you're going to grind down this portion right here where it meets the rear frame, and then on the back frame, don't mind all the Bondo, I'm still working on this. You would do right here and right here. Grind this little section down just a little bit, not like the whole portion, but just around here where it makes connection with the two little raised sections on the front frame. And what that's going to do is now your battery has a ground that goes to the frame, and then the continuity will go through the frame from the front to the back frame, and this way your back frame has a nice ground going to it. And what that's going to do is make it a lot easier for making sure when you have good grounds, and then you won't have ground problems anymore. So that's just a little tip. Hopefully you liked it. I know this is a short video, I just want to go over what I'm doing for the powder coat. Again, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one.